Hi there, I'm David Hayward, and I just want to welcome you to leavingtheministry.com. I want to thank you for dropping by. Obviously, if you've dropped by here and are checking this out, it's likely because you are an ex-pastor or ex-minister or ex-clergy or thinking of it. So, as I said, I'm David Hayward. I am an ex-pastor. I left the ministry in 2010, and also at the same time I happened to leave the church, although I do visit church once in a while. But I was in the ministry for 30 years, and I left in 2010, and I haven't gone back. Now, I went through a very, very difficult time. I left the ministry several times before for different reasons, and I will get more personal. If you join Leaving the Ministry, I'll tell you more about it on the inside. But this last time that I left was very, very, very difficult. And so I discovered, much to my disappointment, that there were very little resources out there for me. And the first year when I left the ministry, things were, okay, I thought it was fine, but then suddenly I realized I was not. I was in deep, deep trouble. All kinds of things like the perfect storm came crashing in on me. And basically my lovely wife, Lisa, said, you need help, and you need help now. And so I went looking for it, and it was hard to find. I did eventually find some help, the help I needed, and I'm glad to say I'm doing great now. So as a result of that, I felt I really needed to do what I could to help other pastors who are struggling with the ministry or are leaving the ministry or who have left the ministry. So I started building leavingtheministry.com. What is leavingtheministry.com? It is for people, men and women, who are full-time pastors, ministers, clergy, who are struggling with their call, are thinking of leaving the ministry, or who have left the ministry or are leaving the ministry. What I want to do is provide resources for you. I gleaned a lot and gathered a lot of helpful information. I'm a journal writer. I write in my journal all the time. So I kept notes of my very frightening and terrifying journey. And I am going to share them with you. So if you join the Lasting Supper, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get content every week, at least every week. It's going to be interviews with other pastors who are struggling with their call or the ministry or have left it, either written, and some of them will be audio and some video, like podcasts and so on. There's going to be my own articles and posts. I'm going to be providing homework and guidelines and advice. I'm also going to provide videos. I'm all set up for doing webinars. And if you don't get the webinars live, they will be recorded. I use a software called Zoom, where we can have live online video meetings. So I'll be taking advantage of that. I'm going to be providing questions and answer. If you have any questions for me, I'll answer them. Listen, I promise you, when you join Leaving the Ministry, I am going to open up. I'm going to bare my soul to you, and I'm going to really be vulnerable and tell you exactly what I went through and exactly how I survived and exactly how I made it through to the other side. I'm going to just be blunt and open and honest because I know that's what I needed, and I am sure it will help you along the way too. Now, like I said, it's going to be content coming out every week, and you're going to find it incredibly helpful and insightful. First of all, you're not crazy. Secondly, you're not alone. And thirdly, you're going to make it. You will live. You will survive. And not only survive, but thrive. Now, there's a small monthly fee. I've had a lot of people telling me you should be charging $97 a month for this. Now, I was a pastor for 30 years. I know most pastors don't have much money. Plus, I bet ex-pastors are even worse. So often, as soon as they leave the ministry and everything. So I'm starting it at just $29 a month, and you're going to get just a lot of resources. Now, on top of all that, not only will you get resources that you can just all by yourself in your own little corner take advantage of, but you will have the opportunity to meet others on a similar path. And I'm also opening up a very private and confidential Facebook group where we can interact, online. I run another online community called The Lasting Supper. You might have heard about it. It's for people who are deconstructing their beliefs and their faith and leaving the church. And I've gained a lot of skills and in online community facilitation. So we'll take advantage of Facebook groups, and you can meet others online there. Now, I promise you, what happens in leaving the ministry stays in leaving the ministry. I know what I was going through. Nobody else understood who was not a pastor or an ex-pastor. It's such a unique, there's nothing like being a pastor. Even the President of the United States, after serving 8 years, hopped on a helicopter, flew away, and was playing golf the next day. That ministry is not like that. There's so many issues that I had to deal with and that you're dealing with. What if your spouse isn't on the same page? What do you do about losing all your friends? What do you do about your sense of call and purpose and destiny? What do you do about your resume that's just all religious when you're trying to get a secular job? Which is why I self-titled this Refit for the Real World. What do you do about friends? What do you do about your, sort of religious attitude about money that you've collected over the years and grown over the years? How do you break free of a religious mentality and really learn how to be comfortable in the world? And so on and so forth. What do you do with all your gifts and talents and everything that you have been using over the years? What do you do? So I just want to assure you, listen, you can make it. I know you can. I did. I know you can. I spent a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of intention doing it. And that's what you need to do. I promise you, if you join Leaving the Ministry, we'll do everything we can to help you not only survive but thrive. And you'll make it through this very difficult transition. And on the way, you might meet some incredible friends. So I welcome you. I'm looking forward to meeting you people one-on-one and in our group. Leaving the Ministry, I know it's going to help you. And just sign up and you'll start getting the content immediately. And I promise you, this is just an introductory video. Everybody can see this in the world. But once you get inside, it's going to be nuts and bolts. It's going to be the, what goes into the sausage kind of stuff. So we'll see you on the inside. Thanks again for listening. And thanks again for visiting the Leaving the Ministry. And I look forward to meeting you. See you on the inside. Bye for now.